Good afternoon, everyone. Mel Soul here, back from the PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando last week. Had a great time. Saw a lot of very interesting stuff that I'll present maybe next week. I have some teaching aids that I looked at. Thanks to David and Lance for doing a great job while I was away, doing these blogs for me. Nice to know that you have a good staff to take over. It does prove that they don't really need me, but nice to be back on the tee. So today is Tuesday, January the 31st, 2017. Tuesday is Troubleshot Tuesday. And this is something that happens to us occasionally on the golf course, not often, but landing in a divot. And if you're playing friendly golf, I always said, just knock the ball out, give yourself a good line, carry on. But if you're playing competitively, then you can't do that. And so it's nice to know exactly what you need to do to hit a successful shot out of a divot. And the big key here is what we call forward shaft lean. When you hit the golf ball, you want the shaft to be leaning forward and the club to be coming down. If the shaft is leaning backwards, you're going to catch some of the ground. This ball is actually slightly below the surface of the ground, so you're going to catch the ground here, back here. So, if you want to hit a good shot out of a divot, there's two very important things. The rest of the time you can swing exactly like you would normally swing, but you want to A, move the ball slightly back in the stand. So for those of you that have had instruction from me, you know that I teach that the ball position for all your iron shots is about 2 inches inside your front heel. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move the ball to the center. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to set my weight a little bit where my weight is normally about 50-50. I'm going to actually go 60-40. I'm going to have a little bit more weight on this, and I'm going to keep it there. The reason I'm doing that is I want to keep my center of gravity, my sternum, over or even slightly in front of the ball, because that's going to determine where the bottom of my arc is. And I want to make sure that the bottom of the arc is after the ball. So when you set up, just lean forward slightly. You can see the ball is now back. From there, I just make my normal swing. That was a pretty good shot out of a divot. So the two key things to remember: ball slightly further back in your stance. Don't move it off your back foot. Don't move it off your back foot, because you're going to de-loft the club. So if you're using something like a 6-iron or a 5-iron and you de-loft it, you're not going to get it airborne. So middle of the stance at best, and then weight leaning forward. Think of the sternum. Think of keeping the sternum right there when you go back and down, so that the sternum is slightly in front. Those two things will help you make good contact next time you're in a divot.